All right, what's up, NFL fans? It is the regular season finale of Two Brothers in a Huddle. What's up, everyone? I'm JB, hanging out on the West Coast, best coast.
And I'm Big Babs, hanging out on the East Coast, baby. What's happening?
Yes, sir. Well, I'll tell you what's happening. A crazy Week 18 of NFL football puts it in the books.
That's in the
Wrapped
record
with
book.
a crazy Sunday night football game. Many records have been broken. Incentives and money has been made. But let's start with your Atlanta Falcons in a division matchup against the New Orleans Saints. What the hell happened to the Dirty Birds?
I tell you what happened. We was already on the island somewhere. And then there's no way. There's no way when you play the Saints, you don't play with more passion, more commitment, more fire in your tail. And it was, to me, it was too soft at times.
Yeah.
A grizzly, down, nasty divisional matchup, man. Ain't nothing pretty about it. Ain't nothing pretty about it at all. I just felt like we didn't really show up.
They ain't show up.
There was times where we had them third and long, and we get penalties here and there. Bail them out. Man, while I was playing, if we would have played a Saints team like that, we would have dogged them. Easy. We would have dogged them, but they didn't do that. I don't know if they know what this rivalry is really all about, but I wasn't really impressed. I wasn't impressed with offense. I wasn't impressed with defense. And it was plenty of opportunities there for us to take over that game, but we didn't. So, yeah, we lost. We went 1-1. We won at their stadium. They won at ours. I mean, we could have went 2-0. But hey, the good thing about that outcome of the game is the Saints thought they had a chance of going to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's exactly what they thought. You know,
they thought they had a chance of going to the playoffs. They had it in the bag. That's that little commercial where the old man got that dollar hanging from that string.
He got the dollar. He want $1. He want $1.
I got you. Yeah, wasn't impressed with the final season game, man. But hey, tough season, whatever. Let's find some new players that want the ball, that want to play hard for coach, want to do it right for the city of Atlanta, and get this ring in the ATL.
Yes, sir. Look, I told you a few weeks ago that the Seahawks and the Falcons would end the regular season with the same record. Look, let me ask you this then, because we're talking about change, right? Off season is amongst us, and front office will be busy. Arthur's first year as a head coach. My question for you, is Matt Ryan returning as the Falcons quarterback?
Man, that's up in the air, just like as much as the talk is around Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Hell, you might never know. Russ might come here. You know, we never know how this is going to play out. From the outside looking in and just listening to all the fan talk, there's a lot of fans that would rather see a new quarterback in the ATL. But my question is to you is this: are you ready to start over? Are you ready to build up a guy that's going to come in and try to understand the game as fast as you can and play at a high level that you want him to play at, be able to run, be able to pass, all that, the experience? You're expecting all this to be in this quarterback in one season. That's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. It's going to take a few years. So my question to the Falcon fans out there is, replacing Matt Ryan is the biggest downfall of the Falcons this year? Or are there too many moving parts just to put it at one position?
Yeah. And if you're looking across the NFL, obviously the quarterback position, pretty important. There are some free agents out there. Ryan Fitzpatrick is a free agent. Of course, you know what's happening down in Houston. Deshaun Watson's potential availability in the offseason. Geno Smith is a free agent this season. There's Nick Foles, you can throw him on the roster, and I think maybe even, your division foe, Cam Newton, might be available.
Man,
Big
you
questions.
never know in this game. You never know. There's a lot of questions to be answered within the next 2 months. It's going to be a lot of transactions going on over the next 2 months. I'm sure GMs and owners and head coaches already got leeway in which direction they already want to go. It's just hopefully that, they're crossing the T's and dotting the I's and making sure everything happened correctly.
Yeah. Well, if it is Matt Ryan's last game in a Falcons uniform, he will, in my opinion, sketch his name somewhere in the building as, Ring of Honor or celebratory of the franchise for, I don't know, it's been 15 years? How long is it?
15 years.
15 years, man. That's pretty impressive. Look, you know what we did? We flew down to the desert. We flew down to the desert, Big Monster. We had to show our division opponent, Arizona Cardinals. Y'all might be going to the playoffs, but let me just dot your I. Bow, real quick. Let me just lump you up while you head into the playoffs. Clip your wing. Because the Seahawks,
that mindset. You're already in the playoffs. You got one last game. Come on, are you really? The last thing you're thinking about is winning the game. The first thing you're gonna think about, let me get the hell up out of this game without no injury, so I can be ready to roll next week for these playoffs.
No, I don't believe it, because the Cardinals, the last couple games, their last 5 games, they went 2-3. They're not going into the playoffs with a lot of momentum, in my opinion. They're hurt offensively and defensively, and I think that's some questions that the Cardinals could be a one and done type team heading into the playoffs. I think it was more about the Seahawks, because obviously the talk is this Russell's last game in a Seahawks uniform? And certainly the resurgence of Rashad Penny over the last 4 weeks. This kid just broke his record again. He just had another career performance, 190 yards, 23 carries. What you think, Monster? I don't know.
Pay that man.
Time to get paid, baby, huh?
Man, time to write the check.
He might not. I don't think he gets the 12 million. I don't think he gets like the 12 or 15 million.
He hit the market. He's going to get what he wants.
Well, he's on the market, and look, he don't have to wait on the Seahawks to give it to him too. He is a free agent. Look, it's something about.
He'll be nice in Jacksonville. You got Trevor Lawrence at the helm. He'll be fine. He's a growing kid. He had some ups and downs, but he has some good in between those games. We'll talk about that later on in the show about finishing the season. But I mean, they got some promise. They just got to find a coach that's going to be down, dirty, and nasty. I think they're going to go defensively with this one.
Yeah, and that's the biggest question mark down in Jacksonville is where do they go with the head coach? Russell Wilson, another, performing day, 110 quarterback rating, the winningest quarterback in NFL history in the first decade. And the Seahawks are heading into the offseason with a lot of free agents to deal on the docket in terms of what they're going to do with their order of business. And of course, DK Metcalf is in the last year of his contract, and he's very deserving of a huge extension of what that looks like. And they have some cap room, $70 million, I believe, in cap room to make some changes to the roster and maybe look into free agency as being more competitive in the next season.
Well, that was the biggest holes that need to be filled.
Yeah, O-line and D-line. O-line and D-line, certainly you start there, but O-line, there's a number of free agents, Kyle Fuller, of course, Dwayne Brown, the biggest in terms of cap space and age. On the defensive line, you got Rasheem Green, Carlos Dunlap, and I said that the biggest question mark for the Seahawks coming into the season was cornerback. And yes, they've made a lot of changes. Trey Flowers no longer on the roster. They've either cut or some of the other players have gotten hurt. But DJ Reed has been probably consistent. They're probably going to have to sign him back. And but I think it's also still the biggest question mark heading into this offseason is the cornerback position. But I do have to share this because Quandre Diggs got hurt, man. He broke his leg in that game, and Diggs was less than a quarter of way from hitting the free agent market. I felt terrible.
He broke his leg. I think he'll be all right. Now, if it was a ligament, a bad tear like a knee or shoulder, now we gotta look twice at this guy. But a broken bone, man, 6 weeks, he'll be back. I don't think it'll hurt him at all. I think the kid got too much talent to get passed up on just because he, had a broke bone.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Certainly he's deserving of a contract, another 5-interception year for the Seahawks. And,
I hope this offseason.
That's what I'm saying.
Paul Allen, break out that checkbook, baby.
Yeah, well, now it's Jody. His sister is leading the organization, so Jody has some big decisions to make in terms of where they're going and how they're going to spend the money. And then the biggest question mark, as we mentioned, Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll. We'll see how it all unfolds, man. We'll see how it all unfolds. The one thing that is certain in the NFL is uncertainty. Week 18 is in the books, Monster. What other game caught your eye as we wrapped the season finale?
Them Colts, man.
Oh, man, I knew you were going to say it.
Hey, Jacksonville on the line. Hey, we play the Colts this week at home? It's cakewalk. It's cakewalk. Man, for the last 7 games in Jacksonville, the Colts are 0-7. 0-7. So Jacksonville looking at they calendar like, hey, this a guarantee.
We got one win.
We got one. We know we got one for sure. Man, crazy. All you have to do is win the game. Win the game and you're in the playoffs. Not to mention you just lost at home last week to the Raiders, who are going to the playoffs by a field goal, by 1 point. And it was almost like they went down there nonchalant, no fire, nothing. I mean, I don't know who's to blame. I know JT only had 15 carries for 77 yards, so it seemed like at some point the coach had to pass the ball a lot in order to, to still be in this ball game. Because other than that, this kid would definitely have over 100 yards easy. So I don't know if the coach is to blame. I don't know if players wasn't ready.
Was it Carson Wentz or is it Frank?
I don't know if they got out-coached or outplayed. But there's a lot of questions to be answered.
Both. When you lose, it's both.
There's a lot of questions to be answered in Indy. And, that's almost to the point where you just want to shake up the whole team. You're talking about coaching staff. You're talking about players. When you at the verge of knocking on the door and you control the destiny to get in the playoffs and you don't make it, man, that'll drive an owner insane to make rational decisions right on the spot. Frank could get fired.
Yep. Coaches, they'll lose their job because of that.
That was one of the games I was just watching, and I'm just mind blown about how Indy got blown out.
Yeah. The AFC South, and you and I both know, playing in Jacksonville in a packed house of 12,000 fans, can seem like feels like a scrimmage game. It's something like, what the hell? Well, I'll tell
Yeah.
you, my thriller in watching is the way the season ended, the regular season finale.
Mm,
Uh,
that's a
with
good one to talk about too.
look, in my opinion, I'm thinking that in many ways the Chargers didn't play themselves right out of the playoffs. They finished the season winning one of the last 4 games, lost to Kansas City. They go down to Houston and they lay an egg. Houston put up 41 points on them. They beat Denver, and then I don't know. Well, one, I got to say that Herbert and the heroic efforts in the fourth quarter was just. I mean, that is the ultimate definition of grit, determination, and competition.
That was growth right in front of our eyes. Everybody that watched that game seen that kid grow at that given point, that given moment, that given time. He grew.
I don't know what happened though in the coaching decision at the end of that game. Now look, the Raiders. Jacobs had a nice run, a big run. You saw the way the game ended. Jacobs had a big run.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers call a timeout. I think that changed the mindset of the Raiders. They like, okay, well, we gonna win it. We about to win it. Send y'all home. You know what? We only want y'all in the playoffs because we don't like you. Division opponent sends the Chargers home. Look, and that brings me to my damn. Did you see that moment, Monster? Damn! Did you see that? I mean, look, the way the game ended, the fourth quarter of back and forth, and watching Herbert go 19 plays, 78 yards for a touchdown in the fourth quarter. He goes 14 plays, 75 yards for a touchdown. The drive before that, after throwing an interception. Wow.
Hey, how many fourth down conversions did he have?
I think it was 6. I
Yeah, that
think
was
he
crazy.
had 6 fourth down
We ain't
conversions.
talking about fourth down and 3. We talking about fourth down and 15, 10.
9, 10, 12. 6 or 7 on fourth down, Monster, but 6 or 7. And, what a gutsy performance, I would say, still by the Chargers. And I know Sean Marion is getting dogged on social media by the Raiders fans. But Derek Carr and the Raiders, for what they've been through this season, I think the spirits of John Madden, really showed out. Packed house. The adversity of losing their head coach in the middle of the season and all of the things that happen in the locker room with the players having to endure those conversations. What happened earlier in the offseason or earlier in the season with one of their other players, I think this by far, this kind of goes, very different, but I would say in a similar way back when the New Orleans Saints was dealing with Hurricane Katrina and they went on to win the Super Bowl and made their playoff run. The Chargers, the organization is kind of in some similar, uphill challenge, battle of resilience type of season, the way they climbed and got back into the playoffs. So congratulations more so to the Raiders for beating the Chargers and making it to the playoffs. That was my damn to just see that moment and a perfect way to end the regular season on the final game.
Yeah, crazy, man.
What you got?
Week 18 it's in the record books, that's for sure. My damn, did you see that moment has to come from nobody other than TJ Watt on his tying sack record. Michael Strahan, 22 and a half sacks. But guess what? The kid only played 15 games. Strahan did it in 17. The kid only played 15 games. Look at that double rip. Let me get that. Thank you, baby. Hey, just get down.
I think they gave it to him.
Yeah, man, that is a lot of resilience. That is a lot of hard work.
Beat the tight end, beat the tackle.
He had to deal with an injury that kept him out for 3 games. An injury that kept him out for 3 games, and this kid still goes out there and ties the NFL sack record.
Wow.
JJ,
20 years.
little brother say move out the way. This is the TJ show. TJ Watt. You might.
Nice.
Damn, did you see that moment, baby? Congratulations, man. Defensive player of the game. I told y'all.
Yeah.
I told y'all. Not
Showing
the game,
love.
but the defensive player of the year. There you go. There it is.
Showing love to the D lineman. I get it. TJ Watt. Look, I can't hate. I can hate on the organization because I don't like the Steelers. Publicly tell you that.
For obvious reasons.
But
we're not gonna talk about that one though.
TJ Watt. I mean, he's a beast. He's a monster. He's a monster. He's a beast when it comes to. I got to give him that. That's for sure. What else stood out?
What stood out was how everything lined up for the Pittsburgh Steelers to walk into the playoffs.
Isn't that
now,
something?
How mind-blowing is that? When they started the week off, they had to have this happen in order for this to happen, in order to get in the playoffs. And guess what? It all happened.
It happened.
It all happened. Like, how crazy is that?
Wow.
Now,
look, I would have loved to see that Raiders game getting to a tie, send Pittsburgh to the fishing pond.
But
it was even crazier watching Mike Tomlin. Did you see Mike Tomlin dancing in the locker room? He was doing the sweet James Jones.
Hey, you would dance too. 15 years in a row and no losing seasons, you'll be dancing in that locker room too. Because it don't matter who come through that door. They know when they come to play for me, how it's going to be, how it's going to go down, and what's expected of you.
Win. We come to win.
Hey,
wow.
the Steelers, man, they might creep up in these playoffs and knock off these big wigs.
What you think?
They got KC this week.
You got playoff talk ahead, right? You want to get a preview right now?
Possibility. I'm liking the Steelers defense over the last few weeks. The D-line has been balling. Every situation there was. You got Big Haywood there. You got White over there. I mean, they taking turns, man. And you and I both know if the D-line and the O-line is rolling, everything else flow easy. So Big Ben could be back there barely moving, ducking and dodging. You know how Big Ben do it and try to stand and make a play.
Well, when you say barely moving, I mean he is barely moving.
A lot of people in the playoffs, man. I'm not saying that they going to win it all, but I'm saying they are going to surprise some people.
You think they go into Kansas City and knock Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid off?
There's a good possibility that can happen.
No. There's always a possibility. But do you think they will?
I think they will.
I'm going to take that bet, Big Monster, because that's what I was hoping you would say. I was hoping.
I ain't betting you.
Yeah, you are.
No,
you just said it.
No,
yes, you are. You just said that's a bet. That is an invitation for a bet.
No, I said the Steelers are going to go in there and shock them. And you say that's a bet.
That's a bet. I don't think they're going to get shocked. I think
I'm making a prediction here. I'm not making a bet here.
And my prediction is they win. So now it be the home team wins. Mm-hmm. So now it becomes a bet.
I rather if you want to bet, I'd rather bet on another game.
No.
That one too lopsided for me.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you 2.5 points.
No, 2.5 points, man. This ain't basketball. What the hell them 2.5 points gonna do? A field goal? That's it. You might as well say 3.
Oh, 3 points. I'll give you 3 points.
No, thank you. Let me see what the line. Let me see what the line is. What's the line? Look it up.
I'll figure it out by the show. We'll come back to it. All right. Pittsburgh, Kansas City. That's a bet. We just got to figure out what the line is. I'll give you 1.5 under the spread.
Boy, you worse than Vegas. I don't want to do no deal with you. I'm gonna go to Vegas, and Vegas gonna give me 3. And you talking about 2.5? I'm going with Vegas.
Well, this ain't Vegas. I ain't Vegas. My money ain't as long as Vegas. All right, let's see. The spread is right now. Come on, the spread can't be 10 points.
No, the spread more than 10 points. It's 12.5.
No, I think it's 10.
12.5.
You're looking at the wrong spread.
No, I'm not.
12.5
points. You gonna give me that bet?
I'll tell you what. I'll give you 9 points. Because it's gonna change. It's gonna change.
Exactly. So I'm getting the bet now at what it is. It's 12 right now.
No, right now it's because mine say 10. I'm looking at it 10. Sports lines say 10.
Well, Caesar's Palace say 12.5.
Okay.
And the MGM. Now what?
Okay. Well, let's get another one. We might need to throw another one. The point spread it's gonna move.
Yeah, but if I'm taking this bet, I'm taking my point spread of what it is now. I'm not waiting 2 days before.
Let's meet in the middle.
And be
meet
like
in the middle.
9 points.
Meet in the middle. You got to meet somewhere in the middle. You said 12.5. I'll tell you what. I'll give you 11. 11-point spread.
What's the difference of 1 more point?
It's winning and losing.
Well, obviously, you think Kansas City is just going to go in there and have their way like Burger King.
11 points, man. That's 2.5
One
scores.
more
That's 2
point
possessions. Yeah, it will. It's going to hurt my pocket because they're going to win 33-20.
So you're saying there's going to be 55 points scored in the game, at least 55.
55 points.
Now we can make bets on everything that goes on in the game. Now we can go all the way down to the coin flip.
Oh man, look at you, man! First play of the game, is it a run or a pass?
It's always a run.
Bad. It's a pass. Everything is a bet, as you guys can see, but we got to figure this out. Pittsburgh, Kansas City. We just need to figure out what the spread is. That's one matchup in the AFC. What other matchup you looking forward to?
I think the Raiders-Bengals game is going to bring a lot of excitement, especially the way the Raiders finished their regular season, but also Cincinnati beating Kansas City going into the playoffs. They have a lot of momentum on their side. It's 2 Titans that's going to collapse down in Cincinnati, but I think Cincinnati is going to walk away with the victory. I think Cincinnati got too much firepower when they're at home. It just seems like they play faster, they play harder. It looks like they're having a ball out there. So I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to knock off the Las Vegas Raiders.
Man, I feel like we could put a bet on all of these games, man. Because
Well,
I'm gonna take the Raiders. I'm gonna take the Raiders, and I'm gonna take the spread.
There's 6 games out there.
I'm gonna take the Raiders, and I'm gonna take the spread.
Who you like? We could put a package together. Who you like?
Cool. Let's put the package together.
So I got the Cardinals. Yeah, I know you're gonna take the Rams because you more like the pretty boys. So the Rams, I look at the Rams are more like the pretty boys, and I look at the Cardinals like they down and dirty, they gritty.
Well, I gotta take the Rams because that was my NFC pick, and that would be they.
And
Matthew Stafford,
the Cardinals
Matthew
was
Stafford.
mine. So yeah.
Well, who won the West? The Cardinals. The Cardinals or the Rams? I told you that the Seahawks is going to beat the Cardinals and the Rams is going to win. But hopefully the Rams don't have to play the 49ers because they just can't seem to beat the 49ers. Okay. All right.
So you taking the 49ers or the Cowboys?
I'm not taking the Cowboys. Okay, and I'm not taking the 49ers. Okay. I don't want either one.
You got the 49ers.
You know what? I'll take the NFC West. Give me the West.
Yeah, take the 49ers. You could take the Bucs because I don't want them.
Okay. I didn't. Yeah. Okay. I'll take the
but
Bucs.
I'll take the spread. Okay. And then I'm gonna take Buffalo. You can have New England.
I'm not betting with New England.
Why not?
You know what?
Now you don't want
for purposes of competition. and to complete the package for wild card, I'll take the Patriots.
There you go.
And the spread.
Take the spread on all of them.
There it is. We'll play the picks are in, and we'll play the spread on all of them across the board.
I like mine. I like my picks. Yeah,
6 games.
I like my picks.
First of all, you better make it known too. I sent you an early gift too, and the Seahawks. And
man,
the
that was a
tied.
Christmas gift.
No, man, I sent you a Christmas gift too.
I asked you to get those shoes for me way before Christmas. This is way before the bet. But I sent you a Christmas though.
No, I sent you a Christmas gift.
I appreciate the love, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Look, we got 6 games.
You can't send them back. There's no receipt for them, so just don't keep them.
Yeah, no need to send them back. Look, 6 games. 6 games. What's the bet? We'll go record. Best record of wild card week.
Let's see. I need me a new hybrid. Nah, matter of fact, I need a new 3-wood. How about that?
You want a 3-wood, and I want a round of golf at Torrey Pines.
Man, why you always trying to up me? Like the prices don't even compare. You talking about $500 to $200?
It's $300. And any good golf club, when you start talking about driver, 3-wood, or hybrid, that's a $300 club.
And you talking about a $500 round?
No, it ain't $500. It's $500 at Pebble
Beach. By
yourself.
Good. You don't want to force them.
I'll meet you there then.
Man, you always trying to up one.
I don't need a hybrid. I don't need a driver. I'm okay on golf gear right now. On equipment. My clubs.
You want a putter?
Nope. I got 2 putters. I'm good with the putters. I'm okay on golf equipment. We'll figure out what the bet is too. We'll make it.
All right, we'll figure it out then. How about that?
Wild card weekend, of course, kicks off with the Raiders and the Bengals on Saturday. So all that being said, you got the wild card games on the schedule. The 2 byes, Green Bay Packers and my Tennessee Titans. Who you liking to take the Lombardi Trophy?
Man, I'm gonna have to go with Aaron Rodgers.
Who's your matchup? How about that? Who's your matchup? Who's your AFC and your NFC matchup for Super Bowl?
Well, I think Green Bay will be in the mix, and I think if the Chiefs don't lose this weekend.
Oh man! But you picked the Steelers though, so why are you saying that they don't lose? You picked the Steelers. So the Chiefs not even in it.
I got 1 and 2 in the Super Bowl. I got the Green Bay Packers
versus
the Tennessee Titans in the Super Bowl in LA. Okay,
Green Bay, Tennessee.
Yep.
Okay, I like that pick, man. I'm gonna have to go down to Nashville. That's a good reason to go down to Nashville if they got the AFC Championship game, man. We're going to go get some hot chicken.
Hot chicken.
Yeah, I need some Hattie B's and some Prince's hot chicken.
I don't mind taking that little 4-hour ride, get some hot chicken.
Yeah, I'll meet you there. All right. Well, I like that matchup, obviously. I do like the Titans coming out of the AFC, especially if they get Derrick Henry back, which he's been practicing. So they can get him back and, take a little pressure off of Tannehill. So I like the Titans out of the AFC and the NFC. Well, I already picked the Rams to start the season, but I'm gonna balk against that right now because it's gonna be tough for any team to go into Green Bay unless there's a rematch of last year's NFC Championship and the Buccaneers head back to Green Bay. So I got a AFC, Tennessee Titans, NFC, Green Bay championship, Super Bowl in LA. And
well, we're gonna bet on it. So
all right. Well, look,
I'll be having
the
a whole bunch
Titans.
of new stuff. I'll be having a whole bunch of new gear.
I told you just to
To
come on out to
fly.
Super Bowl. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you in Super Bowl. We got the golf club waiting on us to play. What time you coming? They say. What time would you like to tee off, Mr. Babineau? That's what they're saying right now.
And they also saying swipe your card too.
Yeah. Well, how much you got?
Yeah.
How much you got?
All right. We made some playoff predictions and Super Bowl predictions. There's 18 teams sitting their ass at home right now, twiddling their thumbs.
Yeah. Some of them don't have a head coach.
Thinking back on what I did right, what I did wrong. Man, it's the off season.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing you do when the season over?
I'm
Something
getting
like
the hell out of here.
You had let's say you played on the coast, right? You had every opportunity to get in the playoffs and you didn't make it. So you're kind of feeling down. What's the first thing you want to do after the last team meeting on Monday? What's the first thing you want to do as far as starting your off season?
I'm getting the hell out of here. We going somewhere. And
usually
it's Vegas. Look, I'm gonna tell you this, man. These guys, now making $30,000 for a wild card playoff matchup. Like the Colts just lost. They left 30,000 on the table. 30,000. That's bonus. So, you know what? We going anyway. And in Indy, they, I don't know where they go anywhere, right? I mean, they're centrally located, right?
Yeah. They got an international airport.
Yeah. They headed. If you're on the East Coast, you're probably going to Miami or New York. You're hitting the city, West Coast. You're gonna hit Vegas or LA. But usually when we, in Seattle, we like, man, let's do a Vegas trip. So we're heading to Vegas, and we done had some fun nights in Vegas. We all just sit around and talk about our goals for next season and play checkers all night.
Sing Kumbaya.
Yeah, singing something, Fireside. But I tell you what, I'll probably glimpse at football, but I'm probably not interested in it. But I'm definitely getting the hell out of that building come the final team meeting. It's always bittersweet because you got to do the little press interviews. You got to holler at your teammates, but you're figuring something out. We're going to do something together because we might not have made the playoffs, but finishing any season in the NFL is still a huge accomplishment, because, you and I, we've experienced it now, and you look back and say, man, it went fast. I didn't take it for granted, and I appreciated every moment. That's what we did on the West Coast, probably Vegas. What'd you guys do, Monster? Because you probably you guys had some times out there. You got the lake. I know you guys were probably fishing and doing
going fishing, but we was going fishing in South Beach, Miami. It's like, hey, bro, what y'all doing? Hey, what we doing? But
we gone,
baby. But before we gone, that Monday after the final last game is always, like you said, a bittersweet moment because the team that's together right now won't be the same team once spring hits. So you holler at your boys, you stay in close contact, you exchange numbers if you didn't have it, whatever the case may be, because you just vibe throughout the season. And, it's a bond. It's your brothers, you know what I mean? And coming from all different walks of life, coming together for one common goal, and that's to win. But, man, you form relationships, people you can trust, lean on, count on, friends that become lifetime friends. And, you just got to cherish that moment because, like I said, you never know who's going to be on the team next year, and that's including self. But
Yeah.
yeah, after a long grinding season, first thing you want to do is get the hell out of there, stretch your arms, your legs out. Hey, I don't want to wake up at 6 o'clock right now. I just want to sleep in. I want to hear some seagulls barking on the beach. You know, I want to hear the waves crashing right now. I just want to hear some peace and relaxation. So the first thing we usually do is just, man, we chunk the dude. We going to Miami. Little quick trip Thursday through Sunday. Maybe glance at the playoff games, but really not too interested in it because
Not caring about it. I ain't caring.
man, that could
Because
have
we
been
should have
us.
been there and we could
That
have
could
beat
have been
them.
us, man. We beat them. Man, they sorry. You know, man, how they make the playoffs, all that. But you know, it's all fun and games. It's part of the game, and you know, you just try to enjoy all the moments that you can. But you know, when you're away from the game, you got to relax and turn off, and you know, and enjoy the good side of life as well. Besides just grinding.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's wrap with this topic. And of course, Black Monday happened and a lot of coaches were fired.
Cutthroat.
You know, I think a few non-surprises, obviously. Rumors are already circulating about Matt Nagy and Chicago Bears. Of course, Mike Zimmer in Minnesota. Denver made it known right after the Saturday loss. Fangio was out. The biggest surprise, at least shocked many of the NFL world, was what happened down in Miami with Brian Flores. Were you shocked by that play from the Miami Dolphins, or not so much because that's been the pedigree of Miami over the last decade?
I say I was more shocked. I think I was more shocked on the side of Brian was trying to rebuild Miami, which he did. He was only in the second season, and yeah, he didn't start the season the way he wanted to, but he damn sure finished it in the style and fashion that he, you know, wished he could have had the whole season go. But you know, it's a tough business, man. It's a tough business, and the demand of winning is at its highest. It's at its highest, and sometimes, you know, we think we're supposed to get so many chances. So when you think about a coach not making the playoffs or a coach not making the Super Bowl year, hey, we already gave you one chance. Now look, you're on year two. If you ain't making no progress or even touching the playoffs, then man, we're gonna have to move on because I need to find somebody that's gonna get me at least to the start of where we need to be going, and that's the playoffs. Right? So there's a high demand on everybody making it to the playoffs, and this goes for every team. Every year, some of them it's the same teams, but for the most part, it's like a circle of teams that just rotate as far as not making the playoffs. But man, it's a cutthroat business. It's a cutthroat business on the coaching side, but man, more so on the player side.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
definitely.
players, it's a revolving door. At least coaches, you get to stay for a year or two, maybe 5. Sometimes you get 8. You know,
Coaches get 3 years.
depending on
New
your
head coaches
relationship.
get 3 years.
Like Mike Zimmer been in Minnesota for a minute. He's been in Minnesota for a minute. So you know he had some opportunities. He had plenty of opportunities to, and not to say that he didn't have. He had some good teams. He just couldn't win that. He just couldn't win that division, and that's a tough division, especially when you got Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was shocked. Look, 24-25 Flores record. I thought the biggest thing in looking at the AFC East obviously was the New England Patriots. Now it's the Buffalo Bills, and those are the games you look at. Look, I need a head coach to come in and win this division, right?
Mm-hmm.
Flores did that. They swept the Patriots this season, 4-2 over the last 3 years. But in terms of watching them, at least this season, lose 7 games, completely shift the dynamic of winning 7 games. They won 7 of the last 8. to me in itself had to have been part of the reason for that success, directly correlated to their head coach. Now, from the reports, it's like, collaboratively, Flores wasn't inclusive of, the other leaders, or the way he communicated in terms of demand and his leadership style. I don't know. I think there's something more that we may never know in terms of Flores and the front office and management and what happened there. But from my seat and what it looked like, 3 seasons to me, and have had the success that he had, given the fact that they really haven't had a quarterback. I mean, they went and got, Tua, and, Tua looked good for the first few games. They had the journeyman Ryan Fitzpatrick, who made him competitive. But I think this further, kind of examination into head coaching positions, to me, is the uphill battle and challenge that it is for Black coaches to lead NFL organizations. And Flores, to me, is just another example of the challenges associated with, longevity, sustainability, building success, and opportunity for Black head coaches in the NFL. Question is now what happens next.
We all know that you got to win. That's first and foremost. We can take the pedigree of Mike Tomlin and the things that he's been doing in the last 15 years. Yeah, he's won some Super Bowls. He has some great playoff teams, some great runs, but the man doesn't lose. And sometimes owners like the confidence of a coach and having somebody like him that just don't lose. No matter how bad the season may look, somehow he find a way to win, or his players play. They find a way to win. But man, this is this is a cutthroat business. You could be in the door one day and out the next. Hey, you might have a disagreement behind closed doors that the owner didn't like that you said, or whatever the case may be. It might not even been something on the field, but
not even football related.
We don't know. We don't know. All we can see was what's in front of us. So, but hey, Brian, the Miami Dolphins gave Brian a great opportunity. I think he showcased what kind of coach he is. And guess what? There'll be plenty of opportunities for Brian to go coach elsewhere. Obviously, Miami wasn't the lone suit for him at this moment in his career, which is fine. There's 5 more other teams out there that need a head coach. And I'm sure he's going to be at the top of the list of mostly, if not all.
Well, we'll see how it all unfolds. Speaking of the other teams who are looking for head coaches, which one is most attractive? If you can take dealer's pick, where would you drop your hand and say, this is where I want to coach?
Me, it will be out of Jacksonville and Minnesota.
Jacksonville, huh? Okay.
You're
gonna roll with it?
I think if Jacksonville can find some key parts on defense, find a nice running back to complement Trevor Lawrence, and have somebody else at tight end. If they find a few more pieces, man, they can be right there in the mix. I see Jacksonville.
And you got first pick of the NFL draft. What player? Not what player, but what position? What position you drafting?
For Jacksonville?
Yeah.
I'm going with somebody stout. Either I'm going with somebody that is a game changer up front, or a game changer on the outside as far as receivers.
So you're going lineman or playmaker? Offensive playmaker. Yeah. Yep. I agree. I definitely get either like a high-powered DN, defensive tackle, or a playmaker, a receiver to grow, with this young roster. Okay, well, I like it. I like it. Yeah.
Future GMs, baby, holler at us. We
ready.
We got it. We'll put it together. Give a brother a shot.
We'll put something together. Give us 3 years. Look, I I know you got teammates. I got teammates. One of them, Loafer's always like, "Oh, bring me in, Babs. I'll get it." Loafer be ready. He's ready to. He coached for a couple of
Man,
years. But
honestly,
Loafer's
you
ready
know
to.
what I
He's
would
ready to
love to
lead the
see?
team.
I would love to see ex-player led team, from head coaches to the assistant coaches, you name it. I just want to see all ex-players
Oh, all ex
go,
players. I
all
got a few.
ex-players
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
coach a football team, and just see what happens. Just see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they got a few. Rivera. Dan Campbell. They got a few players who now have the head coaching title. So I know that
Yeah,
they're
but I'm
always
talking about
looking
head
at.
coach, OC, DC,
Yeah,
special teams, position coaches, all former players.
all former players.
I don't want no chalkboard. I don't want no chalkboard coach or computer
No
coach.
T.
I want
No
somebody
no
that then
no
played in
PE.
the game. They got their
No PE
hand dirty.
coaches, huh?
Yeah, I want somebody that got their hand. I want to see that. I just want to see what will come of that. What will happen? Would that be the trend? But hey, they act like players don't know how to coach. Man, we played the game. We
Mm-hmm.
understand the game.
I would love to see players majority owner of a
That too.
franchise.
That too.
That to me. That's
What I want to see too.
That's super attractive.
And I'm talking about a brand new franchise. I'm talking about expansion team. I ain't talking about something that's already been there. I want something that's built from the ground on up.
You can get a couple of players. I think the number is probably 500 million, but you got to be voted into the club. Well, we got the wild card weekend ahead. Certainly a crazy season. The first 18-week regular season of the NFL is in the books.
18 weeks, baby.
Cooper Kupp, Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. We'll see who wins your MVP of the season. Monster thinks it's TJ Watt. I think it's Trayvon Diggs. On the defensive side of the ball, offensive rookie of the year, Jamar Chase or Najee Harris or Mac Jones. Defensive rookie of the year, probably Parsons is a lock there, but we'll see how it all unfolds. That's it from us, from the West Coast to the East Coast. Two brothers in a huddle. Enjoy your wild card week.
Peace. Peace, baby.